Zed's World back with another one. If you're watching the channel, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and leave a comment below. Yo, imagine you win the lottery, over 2 million in the lottery, and you still involve yourself in illegal activities. Like, where they do that at, blood? Where they do that at? Ain't nearly hot 2.5 million enough? Ain't that enough? Yo, if that was if I'm winning 2.5 million, yeah, I'm not involved in nothing no more, no illegal activity at all. Oh, you got some weed on you, nah, blood. You can't jump in the car. You get me? That's how I'm moving. Like, yo, I'm not trying to risk, jeopardize, or nothing at this point. I'm gonna go and travel, see the world, invest in a few houses and whatnot. That's my plan. I don't know. I would not be thinking to myself, yo, how many bricks can I get with this? Or how much weed can I get? How many pounds? How many? Nah, none of that, bro. Obviously, I'm gonna pattern some people some money. Whatever they do with their money, that's on them. But yeah, let's get into this anyway, man. This is a story about this. Let me zoom in a bit. So this man here, John Eric Spibby, that is his name. He won the lottery in 2010. He won just under 2.5 million in 2010. He is 80 years old right now. 80 years old. Yeah. So when he won the lottery, he was 65 or 66. At that age there, like you win the lottery, I win the lottery at that age there. I'm gonna be kind of pissed, like, boy, how come I never won this in my 30s or my early 40s? Even my 20s, you get me? So I can get a long goal with this money. You win 2.2.5 million at 65 years old, bro. That's enough for you. That's enough. Even if you want to say to your people, give out 1 million to people here, 100K here, 100K there, 100K there, and keep 1.5 at 65 years old. How'd you blow that? How'd you blow that, bro? You ain't got no, not being funny, but you ain't got too much time left before you check out. You get me? But yeah, let's get into this story anyway. A man who won a 2.4 million jackpot hid a dark criminal enterprise secret that was in that was industrial in its scale. You get me? John Eric Spidby led a multi-million-pound drug empire that had its heart in his quiet rural area of Wigan. The jury at Bolton Brown Court heard he denied knowledge of the 288 million drugs operation, but the jury convicted him of conspiracy to produce Class C drugs and conspiracy to supply Class C drugs. 200, nearly 300 million. You know the police, they've probably doubled it. So even if we say 150 million, that's still massive. That's still a massive operation. You get me? Spidby took home the jackpot in 2010 and was heavily involved in distributing tablets. So he weren't even really moving like hard drugs. He was moving tablets like diazepam, a drug also known as Valium. If you know what Valium is, people take Valiums, and especially in jail and that druggies used to take Valiums, and certain other people. I'm sure some of these rappers, Eminem used to be hooked on these shits, these kind of tablets. You get me? That is used to treat anxiety, seizures, and alcohol withdrawal. It's supposed to make you all drowsy and all kind of shit, man. I know people in jail that was taking them and that. The jury heard Spidby provided the premises and helped adapt the premises and purchase machinery worth thousands of pounds to create the drugs. So it weren't just him. Obviously, he's got coldies as well, but these man was actually making these tablets themselves. I don't know how they got the link to find out the ingredients and whatnot. This is his son was even involved in it as well. This is his son. You get me? So it was a come like some family business, man. His dad, my man who won the lottery, he was probably some old time criminal. He probably had a criminal record from when he was young and all that. You get me? The lottery winner was one of four men, which included his son, John Spibby, 37, who officers said were members of an organized gang that produced drugs on an industrial scale as well as supplying firearms. Rare. That's crazy. Let me see if they got any pictures of the firearms. Yeah, these man was moving. These man was making tablets. Yeah, these man probably was rich or something. Then, bro, they must have been well off, man. Well off, bro. Lee Dory, 45, and Callum Dorian, 35, were also jailed, bragging of their wealth. The jury heard how his son, him here, bragged in an encro in a group chat. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos better watch their backs. It was estimated the street value of the drugs could be as much as 288 million. So them man was doing real good, bro. Them man was doing real good. This is another one of the Codys, Dorian. Despite your lottery win, you continue to live a life of crime beyond what would normally have been your retirement years. This is what I'm saying. Like, yo, as an old man, I don't know. I feel like there's no way he was just that. This is my opinion. I could be wrong. There's no way he got into the criminal world at that age there. He was probably a career criminal, had a record before, was an old time G or something. You get me? It must have been, bro, because no way you're going to win 2.5 million at 65 years old and then dabble in the criminal underground, bro. Unless you was kind of in it before and you already got them kind of maths in your head because you win 2.5 million, you're gonna think to yourself, rah, I could go and get flipping 30, 40 bricks now and I'm nearly make double this money, or you get me? That's how you'd think if you got the mind of a criminal. I reckon he had a mind of a criminal anyway. You get me? And then they're saying, yo, that Spibby was also found guilty of two charges of firearms possession, possession of ammunition, and perverting the court of justice. He was sentenced to 16 years and 6 months. Now, as a man that is 80 years old, being sentenced to 16 years and 6 months, you might not make it out. You've got to do 8. You might not make it out. That's potentially a death sentence. That's potentially a death sentence, man. I'm not wishing it on him, but he might not make it out. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you could have won that money, chilled, and just lived your life. Look, you won that money at 65 and you made it to 80. That's a blessing there. For you to make it to 90 now, you're definitely our age at 8 years old to say, yo, I don't know if I'm going to be here in the next 5 years. You have to take every couple years as it goes, especially if you've hit 80 years old. You've got to take every few years as it goes. There's no way you can plan and think, yeah, in 5 years, where no way at that age. You get me? And the solicitor said defending Spibby Jr., the dad, claimed that he was the principal. Claim, oh raw. Sound like he's kind of telling. You get me? So the old man is basically telling the court that this guy was the main guy of the operation. You know what I'm saying? So he raw kind of threw him. This guy kind of got threw under the bus by this guy kind of got thrown under the bus by his solicitor. And you know, your solicitor ain't gonna say nothing unless he goes through it with you first. Here's our defense. We're gonna do this and that. Is that okay? And then you've got to say to your solicitor, yes. Because if your solicitor says, yo, I'm gonna go and throw a next man under the bus, is that cool? You can say, nah, you're mad. You can't, don't do that. Or you can say, okay, do what you gotta do. It seems like he must have said that. You get me? So the old brer, John Senior, this is John Junior, and this is Dorian. He got through under the bus here. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying John Junior, John Senior claimed that he was the principal of this operation as well as the director of the drug empire. He claimed in Dorian's word, the guy whose gaff we use is a millionaire. So basically this is supposed to be the main, what my man's saying is this is supposed to be the main guy here, and the old man is basically saying that them man was just using his yard. But he got the longest. The old man got the longest. The old man got 16 years. This is another member of the thing as well. You get me? And they're saying and the old man's solicitors also saying that the antiquity of revolvers found at the house that dated back to the First World War during the trial, the judge referred to the scale of the drug operation. So my man even had the old brother even had guns in his yard as well as machinery to make all these drugs and everything. He had guns in his yard as well. He concluded it had been the largest production of drugs of this nature that has ever been uncovered by police. Judge Clark added how much of the operation centered in Spivey Sr.'s home, as well as noting how he had been senior in both name and role. So all that stuff was at the old man's house. These I don't know if it's true or not. If the old man saying the other brother was the main guy. You get me? But the old man got the longest. The old man got the longest, bro. And it's fuckery because he might not get 8 years. That means he's coming out when he's 88. He'll be lucky if he don't pass away in there. But they might let him out early, to health and all that. Might get home leaves earlier and all that. And the feds are basically saying that this is the largest drug operation when it comes to tablets that they've ever witnessed in their life. They said they found something like, look, Drury was jailed for 9 years and 9 months. And see, the old man got the longest. The old man got the longest. He got 9 years. He got 9 years, yeah. He got 12 years. He got 9 years. And he got 16 years. So they've jailed him like he's the main guy. But I think it was because it was his yard or something. You know what I'm saying? That's peak though, man. That's fuckery though. At the same time, these man should have stepped up and said, "Yo, he didn't really know nothing about it. Unless he really was the head of it, then he has to hold what he has to hold. But if he weren't the head of it and he was just using his yard, then man should have said, rah, he didn't know what was going on in this yard. Rare, rare, rare. Even the son as well. The son, because if I was on a charge with my dad and my dad's that age, yeah, I don't want my dad to die in there. I'm gonna try and take that off my dad what I can take off my dad and try and get more on me. You get me? But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Winning the lottery and then flipping. These guys, we never know how long these guys was doing it for and that. They probably was smashing the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they said that they seen what group chats talking about how they was bragging about how much money they're getting, all that, man. Madness, man. But yeah, me, bro, I win 2.5 million. I'm not looking back. I'm not getting into no more crime. Doing nothing. I'm not going to buy bricks. I'm not going to buy pounds. I'm not doing none of that, bro. I'm just retiring and living my life. But let me know what you lot think about this video anyway, man, about the whole situation. If you're watching the channel, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, leave a comment below, man.
I done sold all this dope for years just to become a YouTuber. Shit fucked up, y'all.